Welcome to NACTV's Bigger Bingo for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. I'm Jeremy Vogt and I'll be the bingo caller for tonight. And tonight our jackpots are up to $19,845.50. We'll be playing on the gold and blue colored cards. And before we get started, let's just go through the rules. Our license number is LGCA 6052 MBI 35606. One ball will be drawn at the beginning of the session. This ball will be the tuning number for Game 3, the blackout and 52 numbers. When bingo is declared on more than one number, only those who declared bingo on the earliest number called will be declared winners and eligible to win the prize. Each bingo game will be closed when A. Bingo has been declared and verified by calling the number displayed on the screen. B. The phone lines are open to receive calls and it has been announced 3 times that the phone lines are open to receive calls. C. At least one phone line has been available for calls for 2.5 minutes. And D. The game is declared closed. No other further calls will be accepted with regards to that closed bingo game. Prize money is split evenly among multiple winners with a minimum payout of $25. Final win confirmation occurs when the winner or winners submit their date stamped sheet containing the winning card to NACTV. In the event of transmitting or telephone problems which prevent continuation of play, prior to the event start or any time during the event's duration, the game will be rescheduled or resumed on the next Wednesday night. Players will keep their cards for the following Wednesday and they will be accepted. If a player is unable to play the following Wednesday, they may exchange their cards at NACTV for a future game. Please check our website, nactv.tv, or call our office at 204-476-2639 for a confirmation of the games to be played. Game 1 is played to a blackout on the gold cards. And the jackpot in 50 numbers or less is $19,845.50. After 50 numbers, Game 1 continues to a blackout for a $100 consolation prize. Games 2 and 3 will be played on the blue cards. Game 2, the Big X, has a prize amount of $150. Game 3, which continues from Game 2 on the same cards, is a blackout. The jackpot in 52 numbers or less this week is $10,102. After 52 numbers, Game 3 continues to a blackout for a $100 consolation prize. If Game 3 is won with the toonie ball number drawn at the beginning of the session, the winner will receive the accumulated toonie pot plus the blackout or consolation prize. Jackpots for Games 1 and 3 accumulate by 50 cents per package sold. When a jackpot is won, the pot will increase from the minimum amount when accumulated sales reach that value from 0. The toonie pot accumulates by $1 per package sold, and last week we sold 116 packages. Prizes must be claimed and checks cashed within 6 months from the bingo played date, and a list of the bingo numbers called can be obtained from the NACTV office. So we'll get underway tonight, starting with our toonie number. And our toonie number for tonight will be N42. So we will use that for Game 3. And we'll just put it away for now. But we will have the toonie number N42 in play for Game 3. But first, let's start with our blackout and 50 numbers in Game 1. On the gold cards, And your first number up is under the I-22. I-22. Under the G49. G49. B1. Under the B1. Under the G51. G51. Under the B8. B8. I-20. Under the I-20. Under the O65. O65. B15. Under the B15. Under the B10. B10. I-29. Under the I-29. Under the I-25. I-25. Under the B6. B6. N44. Under the N44. Under the N31. N31. B9. Under the B9. Under the O71. O71. G48. Under the G48. Under the N42. N42. O69. Under the O69. Under the N45. N45. O75. O75. Under the N36. N36. O63. Under the O63. Under the N34. N34. B5. Under the B5. Under the I26. I26. B13. Under the B13. Under the B4. B4. I17. Under the I17. O70. Under the O70. Under the I27. I27. B3. Under the B3. Under the O64. O64. N33. Under the N33. Under the O61. O61. G59. Under the G59. 59. Under the G52. G52. I-24. Under the I-24. Under the N40. N40. B12. Under the B12. Under the G46. G46. I-23. Under the I-23. Under the O66. O66. O72. Under the O72. Under the I-28. I-28. N39. Under the N39. Under the N43. N43. I-21. Under the I-21. G53. Under the G53. Under the G54. G54. And that is our 50th number. So we'll pause here just for a couple of minutes to let you look over your cards. See if you have bingo. Once again, blackout on the gold cards with these numbers that have already been called is worth $19,845.50 plus 50 cents from each package sold last week. So both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And we are looking for volunteers to help with the production of our NACTV Bigger Bingo so it can keep going on every Wednesday night. We're looking for people to answer the phones and also to call the bingo numbers like I've been doing tonight, and as Karina has been doing for the past few years now. And we can't do it alone, so we can always use more help in case one of us isn't available. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Looking for a blackout on the gold cards. And if nobody calls in the next 30 seconds, we'll move on to the consolation prize of $100. So we'll just keep playing on those same cards. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And for the final time, both phone lines are open to receive your calls. So, not hearing any calls, so we'll continue on for the consolation prize of $100. And the next number up is under the 067. 067. B7. Under the B7. Under the N38. N38. Still on your gold cards, still looking for a blackout. Under the 074. 074. N35. Under the N35. Under the I-19. I-19. G57. Under the G57. Under the 073. 073. N41. Under the N41. Under the I-18. I-18. B2. Under the B2. Oh, and we do have a call. So we'll just wait and see if we have a good bingo. 3749. Okay. $37.49. And we do have a bingo on B2. So we have one good bingo. $6398. And 6398. And we have another good bingo on B2. So we've got two winners so far. And we're just working on getting information. The phone lines will be open shortly if you also have a bingo. If you're trying to get through and the lines are busy, just hang up and try again. And keep trying, and eventually there will be a phone line open. Okay, now we have one phone line free. So if you think you also have a bingo on B2 or earlier, please call in. Our number is on the screen, 204-476-2639. And we do have a phone line open to receive your calls. Phone's not quite on the hook. Okay, so we now have both phone lines open to receive your calls. So all the numbers called there are up on the screen, so you can look through your gold cards, make sure you've got everything covered. And so far we have two good bingos on B2. So both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And again, we are looking for volunteers to help with bingo, either to answer phones or to operate the bingo desk and call the numbers. And I'm filling in for tonight because we don't have enough volunteers right now, but we could use more, and this bingo desk is pretty easy to use. I was able to pick up on it quickly. And so if you're interested in just learning how it's done, you can come in and maybe just sit in during a session and see how it's done. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And for the final time, both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Not hearing any further calls, so I'll declare this game closed. And we have two winners on this game. Debbie Marone of Glenella, who purchased her cards at Harris Pharmacy. And Bonnie Chester of Brandon, and she purchased her cards at the Superstore kiosk. So it's good to see more people are discovering you can buy our cards there, so you can get our cards in Brandon. And yeah, and the more players, the higher the chance that we'll get to give away this jackpot. As for game one, it'll keep growing. So now on to game two. Which is the Big X game. So you're looking for an X, but because we'll also continue on to game three, which is a blackout on the same cards, make sure to cover every number that's called and not just the ones that make an X shape. And this will be on your blue cards. So let's get started with the first number up under the I-28. I-28. G60. Under the G60. Under the B4. B4. N41. Under the N41. Under the I-30. I-30. O66. Under the O66. B14. Under the B14. Under the O63. O63. N34. Under the N34. Under the O73. O73. N33. Under the N33. Under the I-16. I-16. G47. Under the G47. Under the B7. B7. G46. Under the G46. Under the N31. N31. Make sure to mark down your N's because you'll need them for game 3. G50. Under the G50. Under the I-21. I-21. O68. Under the O68. Under the I-24. I-24. N36. Under the N36. Under the B13. B13. O67. Under the O67. Under the G48. G48. N32. Under the N32. Under the B12. B12. I-22. Under the I-22. O74. Under the O74. Under the I-25. I-25. Under the N-45. N-45. O-64. Under the O-64. Under the G-57. G-57. I-26. Under the I-26. Under the O-69. O-69. G-49. Under the G-49. Under the O-65. O-65. N-37. Under the N-37. Under the B-6. B-6. O-61. Under the O-61. Under the G-51. G-51. Under the I-23. I-23. I-17. Under the I-17. Under the B-1. B-1. Oh, and we do have a caller. So we'll just wait and see if we have a good bingo. 7500. And we do have an X on B1. And we have another caller. Okay. 6-4. Okay, and it looks like we have bingo on an earlier number. So that previous bingo is no longer a winner because we have bingo on the previous number. And what number? Okay, so B1 is no longer a valid bingo, and we do have a phone line open to receive your calls. So if you have an X on your blue cards, please call in. Both phone lines are now open to receive your calls. And you can see on your screen all of the numbers we have called in yellow. So you can check over your cards, make sure you have all of them, and see if you have an X somewhere, and both phone lines are open to receive your calls. A couple of announcements. Evergreen Environmental Technologies will be closed on Thanksgiving Day, October 14th. And there is an upcoming soup, sandwich, and bake sale at the Neepawa United Anglican Church on Thursday, October 17th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it'll be $12 for adults, $6 for ages 6 to 17, and free for 5 and under. So that's at the United Anglican Church, October 17th from 11:30 to 1. And of course, we are looking for volunteers here to help with bingo, or even just to record different events around town. We always could use more volunteers. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And we do what we can to get programming of all the events around town, but there's so much more we could do if we had more volunteers. We try to get at least a couple of the NACI Tigers hockey games every year, but we don't always have enough people to do so. So if you're interested in seeing more of that on TV, you can help volunteer with that, or the farmers games, which we're unable to do because once again we just don't have enough people for it. And right here on Bigger Bingo, we do need additional callers and phone operators. And so for the third and final time, both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Not hearing any further calls, so I declare this game closed. And we'll move on to Game 3. That's also on the blue cards. This is the blackout in 52 numbers or less. And the jackpot for this game will be $10,102. And the winner of the Big X was Lily McSimic of Neepawa, who purchased her cards at Harris Pharmacy. So for our next game, we'll continue on the blue cards for a blackout. And the next number up is under the I-20. I-20. B11. Under the B11. Under the G56. G56. Under the N38. N38. N39. Under the N39. Under the B10. B10. G54. Under the G54. Under the G58. G58. G59. Under the G59. And that is the 52nd number. So we'll pause here for 2.5 minutes. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. We'll just let you look over your cards. Make sure you've got everything, all the numbers covered on your blue cards. And see if you have a blackout for the prize of $10,102. So our phone number is there on the screen, 204-476-2639. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Some more programming that we used to air in the past, but aren't able to right now due to a lack of volunteers is curling. Used to have a lot of curling programming on NACTV, but again we are very short on volunteers. There's only a few paid employees like myself who fill in on everything as needed. So I'm here doing bingo. I'm over at the Yellowhead doing commentary on Neepawa Titans games, and occasionally I read the newspaper, and so those are all things that we would like to get more volunteers to do that, and some other things. More things than we're even able to do right now. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Yeah, so please consider volunteering if you can. The equipment is all easy to use, and everything's fairly easy to learn, and we can teach you how to use it. So for the third and final time, both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Not hearing any further calls. So I'll declare this game closed. And we'll continue on for the $100 consolation prize. Our next number is under the B15. B15. B2. Under the B2. Under the I-27. I-27. I-29. Under the I-29. Under the B8. B8. O71. Under the O71. Under the B3. B3. B9. Under the B9. And we do have a caller. Looks like a couple of calls.
2285.
Okay, and we do have a good bingo on B3. And both our phone lines are tied up right now. So if you're looking to get through, just keep trying. Well, we do have one phone line open now. So we do have one phone line open to receive your calls. Now both phone lines are open to receive your calls. One winner so far. So this is for the blackout on the blue cards. So you can just check over your cards and make sure you've got everything covered that's been called. You've got one winner so far, and both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Both phone lines are open to receive your calls. And so if you have a blackout on the blue cards, you can call in to the number on the screen, 204-476-2639. Or if you're interested in volunteering, you can call that same number during our office hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the winners can pick up their checks starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And remember to bring in the whole strip uncut. So just you can just take the whole strip and bring it in, and we'll see which card is the winner. And both phone lines are open to receive your calls. Not hearing any further calls, then I'll declare this game closed. And so the winner for the blackout consolation was Jerry Bone of Arden, who purchased his cards at Harris Pharmacy. So just to recap, we had two winners for the Bonanza consolation, Debbie Marone and Bonnie Chester. The Big X was won by Lily McSimic, and our blackout consolation winner was Jerry Bone. And so that's it for NACTV Bigger Bingo for tonight, October 2nd. We'll see you next week.